Hello and welcome to your Thoughts from the Green Room with your host, Jeff Mays. This week's topic, just a student. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get underway, the first thing I want to talk about is Viable the film. As you know, I am part of this great film about a young woman who is diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and essentially due to prejudice has her dreams shut down and what she must do to face the world and go forward. I think it's a great film. On March 3rd, between 6 and 9 p.m., there will be 3 screenings of this new short film at the Carlton Cinema. And it is a fundraiser not only for the film, but for awareness for MS. If you want to come out and support awareness for MS and help put your dollar to raise funds for MS, you can come support us. Here is a link to the event. I've got to go this way. Here is a link to the event. Take a look at it. Buy a ticket. Come support us. On topic for today, Just a Student, which is directly related to the film. I had an interview with Mary this week, Mary Guillet, who is the writer and the co-writer and director of this film. She is also it's Mary's semi-autobiographical story that Viable is about. To that point, ladies and gentlemen, I want to help spread the word. I'm really jazzed about this project. So Mary and I sat down this week over an interview so I could figure out some of her journey and expression. If you want to take a look at that specific interview we did, right there. Yeah, that's my blog as well, the written format of it. Sometimes I post stuff up there. This week, the interview with Mary is right there. And one of the things that we said and talked about in this interview was the fact that Mary is just a student. Now, I phrased the question that way because there is this horrible stigma that when you're in school, you're not really viable. You're still in school. You're just a student. Just like you're just a Starbucks hostess. You're just a whatever. And I think that's a horrible stigma that you should place on anybody, that anyone can be classed with. So I want to debunk that just a little bit. And I asked Mary about being just a student and how did she take this idea to demonstrate and move beyond this just a label. Because what Mary has done with this project has created a brand, the Viable brand, which is an awareness brand for MS, ladies and gentlemen. She's finished and completed a film that helps to raise awareness. She's working with the MS Society and maybe writing a blog for them. You can see that this is well beyond a student project. So in Mary's words, some of the things that her and her team did to go beyond this was one, they stopped looking at themselves as students a long time ago and said, who cares about the grade? Let's focus on a bigger plan for ourselves. That's step one. Change your self-attitude. Step two, she said she recognized that the stigma existed. So, knowing that they had to face a stigma, they dotted their I's and crossed their T's and worked extra hard or put in due diligence so that they could go beyond that expectation. They didn't let themselves be just students, and this created strong presentations, strong ability to get people on board. What else did she do to break the stigma of just confidence, ladies and gentlemen? Gave themselves confidence, and that confidence was fuel for them. 4, clear vision. She knew what she wanted to do early and developed that vision, brought in her team, made sure she was involved with people who shared the vision and could evolve the vision, and clear vision equals clear targets, clear goals. Those become attainable. There are 4 key steps that she did for herself. Some conscious, some unconscious, a little bit of mix of all of them, and I present them to you as conscious choices. Because here is your challenge for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Viable, a film done by just a student, has become a brand that is helping to raise awareness for multiple sclerosis. This just a student and her team have broken the mold, and your challenge is to take a look at your life and see where you class yourself as just a, and do something to change it using one of those or all of those steps. Those are your thoughts from the Green Room, and I will see you in 1 week.